These are the two schools of thought on synthetic versus your ordinary engine oil. This has been around since, well, the Pilgrims were trading it to the Indians when it got here. It's been around that long. Synthetic hasn't been around that long. The point is that some of these bikes, these motorcycles right here, were built, not these, but some were built before there was synthetic oil. So the two schools of thought are this. If the manufacturer designed the bike to go off of regular oil, then you should use regular oil. Because that's what it was designed to use. That's what the seals understand. That's what the rubber holds up to, supposedly. On the other side of the coin, the synthetic lasts longer. It is slicker, which means that there is less friction. Less friction means the parts don't wear out as fast, and the parts move easier in the case and the engine and everything else, creating less drag and more power. So you can go either way you want on that. But what I will say about breaking the motor in, no matter what anyone tells you, if you're going to break in a 2-stroke or you're going to break in a 4-stroke engine, you use 2-stroke regular old natural oil, or a 4-stroke, you use 4-stroke natural oil, because what we're trying to do with this is to seat those rings. We want to have these rings down in here seat and give you the best compression possible. Now, of course, you can do this any way you want. Remember, I was young once, you know, back when, you know, all the Beatles were alive. And when I was a young man, I wanted everything right now. When I was 19, 20, I didn't care, okay? I wanted the Ferrari, I wanted the Lamborghini, I wanted the clothes, I wanted the newest stereo systems, I wanted the fastest bike, I wanted to be the biggest show-off. And I wanted it all right fucking now. That's one thing about age, is that as I found growing older, I still like the very nice stuff, but I don't need to have it right now, right this second. And therefore I have time to kind of look at what I'm doing and say, well, you know, I'm going to take a little extra time and do the job correctly. Another problem I had when I was young, and I'm sure that some of you may run into this, you may do a total engine rebuild on one of these bikes, and you're going to find yourself with a, say you have a few parts left over, okay, that you know they came off with. You can't just shut it out of your mind and say to yourself, oh, well, it didn't look like they needed them. I'll just put them out of my mind and forget about it. Everything will be just fine. Fuck no, it won't. Whatever parts you take off this bike have got to go back on, because that's the way it is. If you're missing something, then you're missing something. The other thing about being young is where you build yourself a 500 horsepower engine because you're an engine builder, but you don't know anything about brakes down here, you see? So you say, oh, don't worry about the brakes, man. It's only been, I don't know, 200,000 miles. They'll take care of themselves. I'll just forget about it, won't worry about it. It's cool. Shine me on, man. Shine me on. Malibu, let's go surfing. No, let's not go surfing. Every one of these bikes are dependent upon every part in it. So that's the one thing I was just going to say about getting old compared to being young, is that I have more patience to understand things. But let's face it, you know, when I was younger, I was out there chasing 20-year-old girls. I'm not out here chasing 54-year-old women on every Friday night. Believe me, you can go to my new website, itaintgonnahappen.com, and see what I mean. So I've got a lot of spare time to figure out how to do these engines. And I hope you like my work. It's Saturday. I'm kind of tired, but I'm really enjoying being out here doing it. Okay.